All right, folks, I think it is time to tackle this windshield. There is not a lot holding it in there because everything on the inside and outside is rotten. The good news is I think the window is going to be like super easy to take out. Bad news is the window's junk, but I'm in the midst of ordering one, so it should be here. Look at this. Oh yeah, we're almost out. Just like that. Dinah, eh? This rubber's actually not terrible. I'd almost rather use the old rubber, judging by the amount of fighting we did last time. I do have a brand new one, but this one is like still super pliable. All right, well, let's get that out. We're gonna see how this is all gonna work out. I foresee a whole lot of interesting things we're gonna have to do in here. Man, oh man, I'm hoping that this is gonna be relatively easy. There's a lot of bad rot everywhere in here. I'm really worried about this part. I don't know what's involved up here because this thing's in nice shape, the headliner, and I would really hate to wreck it. Anyways, let's get started. Boy, you go into this knowing stuff is bad, but Jiminy, there is nothing left on this sucker. Right here, this goes down the post, down to the bottom here. So, there's a lot of mousy in here. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but I have to vacuum that out. I'm not exactly sure. I'm imagining this. Oh yeah, there's a lip under here, so there's like a whole bunch of spot welds that it wants. I don't know if well, I guess we could. I don't want to affect this too much. Like again, I want to try to keep the, sounds dumb, I'm just trying to keep the original look of the truck here, but we're still trying to do a nice repair. I guess I'll clean the edge. We'll find where the spot welds are and I'll just drill them. I think we'll just spot weld this in. But we're going to have to rebuild some of this. Down here it's a little rough, but it's not terrible. There's still some meat in there. We'll be able to clean this out. I'll try to get this garnish molding off. It's kind of stuck, so I'm just hoping that all the screws don't break. Well, actually there's only 2 screws. The rest of them just snap in place. And it's easy with the window out to get it out, so. Devil. The inside's not so bad, but it does pull up and in. It tucks under here. So I'm gonna have to see how this is held in place. I noticed back here there's a union thing, so it may not be so bad. Like right here, looks like there's just something I pulled out. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is not so bad. That'll be okay. See, that just pulls out. So we'll be able to pull that out. Well, that'll be all right then. Then we can kind of come in and slice and then fix what we got to fix in there. Get that thing in. Kind of like I said, a bummer that it had, this thing I only have the one sun visor. This one's got the hole for both, but whatever. If I have to, I'll get another sun visor. Or I'll just get a pair of them. Or we can fill the one. I think overall it's a relatively simple repair. It seems overwhelming, but I think first step first, we'll just grind this edge out. It should expose all the spot welds. From there, we're going to drill the spot welds. We'll get the crusty junk out. Then we can kind of clean this up. We'll pop this thing in place. It really should be that easy. We're going to, instead of cutting and me doing some, I don't know if I'll get the exact edge, because I was thinking I could just cut right on this seam and then we could just butt weld those together, but let's see, let's do it the right way here and see how that comes out. Well, now, that was terrible. Personally, I think that would have been less destructive if I had done it my own way. Now we'll have to hammer dolly this whole lip because it's just bent to nobody's business here. You can see I mangled the crap out of it there, here. You can't actually tell, like from here, I think that's a spot weld. Normally you'd actually feel a little indent. You can't tell where nothing is on here. It's crazy. Man, that thing is just ugly, eh? Anyways, in here you can see I couldn't even get to some of them. You can't feel anything. You don't know that there's a spot weld, so yeah, that was really sucky. I still got to dig into the corners because I didn't get any of that stuff. You can see I got some sheet metal in there. We're gonna have to hammer dolly it. I'm gonna have to come in with a grinder and clean this. This is just crazy, the amount of junk that's left over. Once that's in, we'll just test fit this. I'm not going to put this in yet, but this piece should, after the fact, should tuck in tight behind there, like to the roof line, hopefully keeping everything straight. With my pulling and tugging, I'm hoping things didn't go out of place there. But anyways, that sits in behind it, and then we'll just drill some extra holes. We'll just plug weld it in like it was. Seeing what we can do inside of here. We got a vacuum mode inside there. There, so we can see better. There, you can see all the mouse trails going in there. Looks like both sides. It's a little cruddy inside, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. We'll just zap this and get this fixed. We'll pull that headliner out of the inside. That way we can basically nub this out of the way, get it in place. I think what I want to do is we'll clean this out. We'll clean out in here, get it all prepped. I think I want to get this brow in place first before we do the inside, just so it doesn't start losing its roof shape. It shouldn't, but just to play it safe, we'll put the one in. We'll test fit the other one. We're going to try to butt weld everything anywhere inside just to clean it up a bit. Anyways, I'm going to continue trying to clean all this junk out of here. We'll vacuum the insides, and I don't know if there's much I can do. I don't have anything other than to spray some paint. I don't have any rust converter, but I'd have to really spray that stuff far into there to do anything anyways. So I think it just is what it is. That said, taking care of it, this truck will outlive me a long time before it all rots out. So anyways, I guess I'll continue suffering and getting this thing done. Well, I wouldn't say I did a super clean job of cleaning stuff off, but we do have the brow in. This thing clearly got twisted really bad. So we gotta fix some of that. We got a little bit of filler to do here, but there's a whole lot of lead stuff in here I gotta clean out. So that fits okay. You can see everything else we have to kind of do a little rebuild here. This side's a little better. I'm not gonna weld it in until we get the inside kind of fitted, but I think I'll set this one up. You can see here we got a little bit of overlap, a little high, but we got a lot of lead in here we got to burn out. And then this stuff doesn't fit like it fits, but you can kind of see my finger sits down. I think when we clamp it, it'll be fine, but we got to polish that. We got to drill more holes so we can spot weld this thing. It'll probably need a sploosh of seam sealer because that's just not a great fit the way it should be. Anyways, I'd like to do is get this here, get a couple self tappers through it just to pull everything tight. And then I'll feel better about cutting the inside out to see what we need to do. You got to get something, some rust converter or something to spray in everywhere. I did trim the bottoms off. There was a little too much angle on these things. I think this is one. There's a little bit too much, like it kind of started going down and doing things. It was probably because it would have sat inside of this pinch weld. I'm not dealing with that. So anyways, I think this is as far as I'm getting tonight. Sure doesn't seem like I did a lot, but we got this going. Tomorrow's plan is we'll polish the edge up just so it's ready to weld. We'll clean up into here. Hopefully I get some rust converter that we can just kind of spray it on everything inside. And then we'll be able to start tack welding across there and here. We have to grind this all out, but I'd like to get these edges done, get that top all welded into place. I'm not too worried about this stuff at this moment. This isn't terrible. I mean, it's bad, but it's not terrible. This outer edge still looks okay. So really we just need to make this little 90 that we're going to do a little bit of stretcher shrinker action to get it to match up down here. So as bad as it looks, it's not that bad for what this truck's going to be. A driver, more or less. Inside here, there's still a lot of suck, but we'll take it one step at a time. Let's get the outside all in place. The window, it should be all perfect for the window. I really hope it's perfect for the window. We're using that as our baseline. I mean, this edge is good. This lines up here. So, and the same with the other side. So the middle has to be what it is, has to fit in my eyes. If I take this off, this is like, once we get her in place, pretty much on the money there. We need to trim this a little bit back so we can kind of get these to fit a little tighter in here, but anyways, that's tomorrow's project. I'm kind of done for today. All right, today we screwed the top in, so that's sitting, as far as I can tell, where it's supposed to be. Fortunately today I couldn't find any rust inhibitor, or nobody had any of that stuff in stock. So I am just gonna try to test fit everything I can in here to the best that I can for now. Turn the light on. So the dilemma we're getting into is if I get these side pinched where they're supposed to be, look how in the center things are getting out of whack. Now that may not be the end of the world, but I don't know which piece is the right one. Like, is this where the glass should be? Or is this one, the bottom one? We're kind of trying to push and prod, but it's just these things are turning into becoming two different shapes, the best I can tell here. I don't know if this light's making it worse or better. Anyway, you can see how that hole is not perfectly lined up, so I'm going to try to keep scooting on that thing to get that in place and try to get a vice grip up on top. I just want to hold it before I cut everything apart. I'm not pumped about here. I don't really want to put a sun visor there because I don't have one originally, but whatever. If we got to get one, we'll stick something there. But yeah, so far I'm not too pumped about how she's going. I don't want to just viciously cut this out and be kind of hooped where things just, you know, you pull and prod and then try to get things in place. I don't want to overlap this, but if I cut it out, I'm worried things are going to spring where they shouldn't be going. You know, a feather could be biting themselves in the butt. Like, this might fit nicely there, but what are the chances that the glass won't fit in the truck because it's supposed to be up on this seam instead of the bottom one? I think when I can push this forward, it'll actually be fine. I might have to just blindly cut this out. Oh, sorry about the light, folks. I might have to blindly just do a blind cut. Like, if I just use my Sharpie over here, it won't affect anything. Let's put this back. I'll run my Sharpie here, that way I can go in a couple inches. We're just gonna cut. We're just gonna do a straight cut, get rid of all the metal in the middle. Hopefully this thing will fit in place and line up nice with this front piece. I hope. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, let's just do that. Or I'll do a blind cut. I don't have my Sharpie with me. Let's just pretend this is my hole. We're gonna do a blind cut from there to whatever my mark is. We're gonna do just a dumb cut. We'll do the same on this side. We'll do a really dumb cut from here through my hole. Then we'll try to fit this piece on again, see what happens. right, so little pushing and prodding. It looks like it's right. I don't know for sure, but I went ahead. We pressed this up, clamped it in place. I've done just a zip cut through here and here. Now I can pull it off, and we did the same on this side. That we can clean up whatever we got to behind. Unfortunately, there's not much else I can do because I do want to blast some rust treatment in behind there. So I'm gonna have to cut and make a little piece there too yet. So I think that does it for there. Gonna go to the city this weekend, and then we'll try to see if I can find some rust inhibitor, like rust, whatever, some rust treatment out there that we can spray on. I think for now, I guess what we'll do is we will try to tackle this little piece. This one should be pretty simple. We'll just take a tape measure. We'll kind of measure this whole thing. We'll grab out our stretcher shrinker. We'll do a bend to 90 on it, and we'll kind of bend this here. Then we'll be able to cut this. Well, I'll cut this out first, up to down here about. And yeah, this should be a pretty straightforward, just a 90 piece going into there. Fortunately, we can't. I guess I could weld this part right now, but I'd rather just take it out, treat everything, and then we can kind of blast it. Hopefully I can get some weld through primer or something as well, but if we can't, I guess I'll just smoke it with some Tremclad or something, but I hope to find something before the weekend here. Or on the weekend, I should say. Alrighty. Well, that is all we can do right there, so we'll leave that be. Let's take a little piece and bend her up. You can see the rotten carcass that we cut out of there. So there's still a lot in the back, but we did a cut. We're going to be able to pull all that steel out of the corners after. Alrighty. This thing should be straightforward. We'll just measure this up and cut a little slab of steel somewhere I got here. And this should be a really easy piece to make. Well, we're getting close. You can see the stretcher shrinker. You can see the marks in here, but it's like shrinking this. Up here we've been stretching, so we kind of get this like it's not straight anymore. So what happens here is this goes down, but as it comes up the window, it actually curls in. So we are pretty close on the shape. We've oversized it, that's not a problem. This is pretty good. You can see here, maybe you can't, but in this area, if I was to pinch this up with the top part, you can see the bottom's got a big gap again. So somewhere in here, we got to stretch this to get this to touch this piece. So I'll do that quick. You kind of seen me using it. All it is you kind of stick it in the mouth and you kind of step on it a little bit. It does not take much to manipulate some sheet metal like that, but you can see how crooked that is. The only problem I got now is this is following this down nice, but this is kicking out. So we're gonna have to stretch this, but we won't be able to do it into the machine because this part won't fit. So I'll show you that, how we do that in a second, but it's pretty easy. I'll just see that I got this working close enough. I think this is all good. We just need to stretch into here to get this the point over here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see how if we were to vice grip this all in place, this doesn't want to go. So the easiest way to do it is we just hit it with a hammer. As simple as that. Got my trusty workbench. We don't need no dies, no nothing for this one. All we need is a hammer with like a flat, something flat. Because all you're going to want to do is just hit it in the middle flat, and it's just going to cause it to stretch. See how that fits. It's going to take a lot. All right, well, it did it. It's not pretty, but it'll all get covered by the windshield, so I'm okay with that. I think we're good. We got to do a little bit here. I think I can do that in the machine. All right, it's not too bad. We will give it a little bit of love on the truck here. So, yeah. It's not bad. I think that's pretty good. It's good enough. All right, this is pretty good. What I do is I got a scribe. Well, I call it a scribe. It's like a pick, but it's got a sharp end, so I'll be able to scratch this thing up. Anyways, you can see it fits pretty good. Down to the bottom. We're just a hair out, but we'll be able to finesse that all once this, we might have to tweak it a little bit once we cut the stuff out. What I'm probably going to do right now is just blindly take the grinder. We'll just do a blind cut. We're going to cut right on the edge here, all the way up to the top, and then we'll grind and just clean this inside edge off, and then we'll retest fit this, and we're going to trim the excess off. What I can do there is just take my scribe and just scratch the back side of it, and same with the inside, just so we don't make the window frame smaller. That's the only thing we're trying not to do. But yeah, let's start grinding. Well, we got this piece fitting really nice. If that light helps you or makes it worse. We'll do a little. But anyways, there, it'll be a nice butt weld up into here. We'll have to do a little finessing and filling. Just, I don't know, maybe make a little patch in there. I know there's just tons of lead, so that's the only problem there. But that piece looks good. I can't really, like I say, I can't weld anything in right now until until I can get some converter, some rust converter or whatever. That's at least what I want to do. I don't want to sandblast this or have the means to do it, so I think that's as far as we can get. So I know on the weekend we're gonna go into the city, so I think I'll try to grab some stuff then. Hopefully there's somebody out there that has some of that stuff that we can spray in there and call her done. I guess unfortunately this is about as far as we can get with the video. I think our next round we're gonna get everything welded in, and yeah, hopefully have the windshield so we can get this all welded and get the windshield back in. We'll have to do some body work, so I'm gonna have to go pick up some mud to do that, but it's getting there. It's getting close. We gotta do just a little bit of, you know, a little bit of fill on there and the cab corners, nothing major, because like you say, from here you hardly notice, although the truck does sit quite a bit higher, but this is not any low rider by any means. Anyways, like I said, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.